Seated in front of his mud house, this 49-year-old Sulaiman Mugume, a resident of Nyabwina village in Rwengaju sub-county Kabarole District, cannot hold back his tears as he thinks about how his 18-year-old died. Mugume recounts that on the 20th of April 2024, the district speaker Timothy Rwengaju organized a Thanksgiving party at his residence in the same village, which was attended by, among others, his deputy Stella Kobgabe, said to have lost her property that day.
The deputy speaker lost 2 phones.
One of the youth who was present was apprehended for the theft.
A boy who attended the party stole those phones, but was seen by some other people who were around. He picked the wallet and left. After about 10 minutes, he returned, and the deputy speaker was still searching for her lost property. He was spotted by the other teenagers who were present.
When he returned, he was apprehended and beaten up by the security officers before he was taken to the police, where he spent some nights. However, Mugume adds that while in police custody, the suspect changed his statement regarding what had happened.
And he spent around 2 weeks in custody. He then changed the statement, now claiming that he had given the phone to his friend, Mugisa Stephen. Mugisa did not attend that party, and the boy who stole did not leave until he was arrested.
The mother of the late Mugisa, who stays a few meters away, also gave her account of what happened.
It was on 28th when they made a party, but he didn't even go there. I was with him here at home.
She says the police arrested and incarcerated her for some days, asking her to produce Mugisa.
But when they came, they arrested me instead. I didn't even know the people who took me because they were not in uniform. They were wearing plain clothes. They kept me in police cells for 5 days without even writing any statement.
Police continued their hunt for Mugisa until he was recovered from his aunt's residence in Chinyankende village on the 12th of June.
The aunt called and told me some people had arrested my son. When they asked where he was being taken, they said he had murdered someone.
Mugume was restless about this and decided to visit his son in the police cells where he was being held to find out what was afoot, waiting for him to be produced before court.
I went to Busoro police and I saw him. When I asked him about the stolen phones, he said he had no idea.
The next day, Sharon Kangume, Mugisa's sister, went to the police to check on her brother.
I asked them, "We have come to visit Mugisa Stephen. I have brought for him food." They told me that Mugisa Stephen was taken, maybe for some investigations.
Not long after this, he received a call about the death of his son.
Received a call and my wife told me our son had died. I didn't believe it.
He was told to visit the morgue to identify his son's body. Upon examination of his son's body, he could not believe what he saw.
All his nails had been removed. His elbows had been shattered. His knees and ankles were also broken. His head was also hit hard and had a big wound which had been sewed. When we turned him facing up, blood oozed out of his private parts.
And the private parts were like as if they had tied them and they were big in size.
We want the IGP and the crime investigation to come in Kabarole, to come this side of Rwengaju, to make an investigation.
We reached out to the police spokesperson, Chituma Rusoke, inquiring about this particular case.
One of our own signs for him to take him for an interrogation. And that was the Detective Sergeant Arinaitwe Davis Ashton. So when he takes him for an interrogation, he conducts the interrogation in a very unprofessional manner, coupled with a lot of brutality. That is what we have on the record.
But have any investigations been conducted internally?
Because there was a post-mortem done by our doctor and found that the deceased had sustained, he died from excessive hemorrhage due to injuries sustained on the head and upper limbs. Ashton, the officer, tries to take the suspect quietly for treatment, which doesn't work out, and then the suspect ends up losing life. He tries even to take him to, I think, the referral hospital. Doesn't work out. Actually, the doctors were very professional. They refused to receive the person because the person had already passed on. He abandoned the deceased at the mortuary. So he takes off. The hunt is on to have him apprehended.
He has a word for all his men and women in uniform.
We are not willing to put the image of the force on the line just because of the actions of these reckless officers.
This is Ntezi Village, Hakibare Sub-County in Kabarole District, and right in front of me is the grave of Stephen Mugisa, son to Sulaiman Mugume. While the family buried him on the 18th of June this very year, they remain unconvinced about the way he died and demand a thorough investigation into his death and also bringing to book all the people behind his death. I'm Benjamin Jumbe, NTV.